Good afternoon, it's Kathleen Pate at My Alabama Farm Life, and today I'm going to clean out my truck, the bed, and the cab, and I'm going to try to fix some damage to my rail, or at least I'm going to try to. We're going to see how well I do. For those that are unaware of what happened, while I was traveling last week, I was headed into a storm and I hit a gust of wind that actually lifted up my bed cover and ripped it off. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that video up there in the corner if you want to go watch it. So when I was able to get out of the truck and look at the damage, half of it was still attached to my truck, so I disconnected it and just threw it in the back of my vehicle, and I have not touched it since. So now it's time to get that cleaned up. This piece that I'm struggling with is actually what is left from my truck topper. I just kind of folded it up and threw it in the back. And what happened is part of it got stuck in my def box there. That's for my truck. And I was actually afraid that it had busted the plastic, but it didn't. So that was good. And I'm using one of my favorite tools for my truck. This is actually a fishing gaff. It's got a hook on it. It has a little cap that goes on it, and I try to keep it on there. But I try to be really, really careful when I use it because I don't want to puncture anything. But I use this on the regular because I hate having to climb in and out of the back of that truck. In most circumstances, it works really great. But there's a few things stuck up here in the corner of the truck, and I'm gonna try to get them out with my hook. But eventually, I think I'm gonna have to get into the back of the truck. If you can't tell by looking at me, I am really thinking about my other options because I really do hate having to climb up onto the tailgate and get into the back of the bed of this truck. I mean, it's not really that difficult. It's just, to me, it's a pain in the butt, and I'm always afraid I'm going to fall. Once I'm in the bed, I'm able to get everything down to where I can reach it. But again, just having to climb over that tailgate and get down, it's a struggle for me. So, guys, you have to remember that this is a full-size truck, and I am only 5'1.5". So this really is a climb for me. Plus, I'm not a young chick anymore, and I have to be really careful about where I put my feet and what I do. I mean, if I do fall, I probably would do okay, but other than being embarrassing, you know, there is always that chance that I could really hurt myself seriously. Well, that's about it. It's done. I'm going to leave my DEF for my diesel truck and my diesel gas containers in the bed of the truck. I actually need to go get those filled up, but I'm going to wait till after the Memorial weekend is over so maybe I can get some cheaper prices. Oh my goodness, the diesel is ridiculous. So there it is, all nice and clean. And while I have the bed open, I want to try to show you some of the damage that happened when the bed cover pulled off. You can see where the metal is actually bent on the truck. This side was the worst side. You can see where it pulled out and really bent it. So I'm gonna have to get that fixed. This rail cover was also pulled out from the wind, and it will actually pop back on just like this. But unfortunately, when you pull on it, it does not stay. I'm hoping that I can use the JB welds and that'll keep it down, but I think probably my best bet is just to buy a new one. So we will see what happens. As many of you know, my dad just passed away, and I was at his house and went ahead and grabbed some of the personal things that I wanted and a few other things that I think that I can use around the house. There were two pictures at my dad's house that I particularly wanted. One is a photograph of my grandmother, and another one is a photograph of James Dean and Marilyn Monroe. I don't know what it is about this picture, but I really love it. And then this is my grandmother. This is Mimi. She had this painted, of course, many years ago, and it's a very good likeness of her. And I always wanted this picture. And the weird thing is I found this hanging in my dad's closet. It is a queen quilt, and I believe he used to have it on his bed. But I really love it. I have a queen bed. I also found the shams that went with it, and I think that's going to go on my bed. And he also had a lot of brand new kitchen stuff that my aunt bought him, and some older stuff like a tea kettle. I could always use something for hot water. And that red thing is a hummingbird feeder, so I will use it. And this is really cool. It's a magnifying glass, and it has a light on it. So I called dibs, and my brothers didn't mind, so now it's mine. My dad also had this really cool coffee maker. Well, actually, it's a percolator. I think I'm pronouncing that right. But it does about 6 cups, and it's pretty quick. It makes really good coffee, and I think I'm going to use it instead of my French press from now on. I can't believe how warm it has gotten already. It's supposed to get up into the 90s today, so I'm gonna go ahead and call this a day working on the truck. I've got garden stuff to do, so I'm gonna spend the rest of the day doing that. Whew, I'm already out of breath. But anyway, I've physically got the car cleaned out, and that's all I'm gonna do today. I would like to fix that rail, but I think it's gonna take longer than I want this video to be. Plus I'm going to pull out that JB weld and use it, and it takes a little bit for it to set up and to dry. So I'm going to fix that truck rail on another day. So guys, thank you so much for all your support and hanging out with me. You guys have a great day.